I'd like to share with you a little bit about the process I have for making an altar cloth. So I have one on the loom right now, and this piece has been requested by somebody I already made a prayer stole for in the colors of purple and orange. So it's going to have some similarities to the prayer stole, but also be really different. And one thing that comes very naturally to me, because it's how I've done my spiritual practice for the past 40 years, how I've taught yoga for the past 25 plus years, how I've been a minister for the past 25 plus years, is comes pretty naturally for me to work on the level of the intuitive. So I will intuitively think, a thought will come for the warp, a thought will come, and these are some of the cloth I'm working with here, oranges, reds. This particular altar cloth is around the energy of being a fire goddess. That's a fantastic thing, isn't it? So working with some of that, but it's altar cloth, so I can't put too many bips and bops because it needs to be able to have things that are set on it. This beautiful gold ribbon was also in the prayer stole. So to be, and this is also a piece of cloth. So I'm working with cloth, repurposed cloth, also working with some different colors with fibers here and with some rayon chenille. And it's a recycled cotton polyester mix on my warp. And so for me, I don't plan ahead. I don't make a design. I really just work like this. So I'll be sitting here and I'll weave a few rows and then it'll hit me to add a little bit of purple. And so I'll add a little bit of purple. And this practice of intuitive weaving, again, comes very naturally because it's something I've done in all my practices. I mean, when I've been able to, over the years, I've written sermons, I've written notes for sermons, and also I've been able to just get up and give one. Just get up and open my mouth and speak. And to me, that's an intuitive practice, and it would be also come from the fact that I would be thinking or studying or writing or reading during the week. I wouldn't just get up and open my mouth and say whatever. But to be able to be a diligent listener to the movement of spirit, by whatever name you call it, that's the practice. That's the practice. So when I am weaving this piece or any piece, here I got an interesting mistake. I had a broken warp thread. I love interesting mistakes because they make for interesting, amazing, beautiful, unique designs. Sometimes I'll fix a mistake, but a lot of times I'll just leave it. There's a bit here of orange that started to come up. That wasn't on purpose, but it was on purpose. It wanted to come up, it wanted to make itself known. So I didn't fix that broken warp thread. And I think in our culture, a lot of times we have to learn this way of thinking. A lot of traditional weaving is very much planned and a very exacting, very specific kind of way of working. So this is how I think of it, is it's the difference between cooking with a recipe versus just cooking, just putting things together. Both things will feed you, right? So there's nothing wrong with weaving with a design or a plan or a set or whatever. It's not a hierarchy, but it's quite different, right? So if you weave if you cook with your recipe versus you just spontaneously cook, you're using a different kind of skill. And it is this kind of intuitive skill, Misao Zhou, who's the founder of Sari Weaving, is a brilliant teacher of, and it's the kind that to me comes most naturally. I mean, it's how I've taught yoga for the past 25 plus years. It was very easy for me to go. I never had to write notes, even in the beginning, or write down what I was going to do. Occasionally, if I led a long retreat, I would put down things. I have a little bit of a funky warp here because my threads keep sticking together. Anyway, I would just go teach. I would open up my channel. And I open up that intuitive channel and see what comes out. And I think really that's the reason why I've never taught the same yoga class twice. Of course, I've never woven the same thing twice. I don't know how you could possibly repeat. this sort of thing. Yeah, don't know if you can have a good look at that. Sacred space, right? Weaving for somebody's very special sacred place where they'll put things that have deep meaning, spiritual meaning to them. It must be a kind of weaving with spirit. So I need to be listening to spirit. That's all for now.